Dear student, for research and critical reasoning, which is RCE2601, we have come to an end of the year, which is an examination. I know you have a long, hard, and difficult set year, but I'm glad you managed to come this far, that now you have to write your examination. I really appreciate that. So I'm here just to give you some few tips on the examination that we are going to be writing in few weeks. RCE2601 is a module designed to equip students with research basic skills and encourage critical thinking in education. Since you are doing B.Ed, you need to understand the importance of research as teachers, because you can't separate the two. Skills and knowledge will assist teachers to deal with classroom challenges professionally. As you become teachers, you will be facing a lot of challenges in school or classroom or even from the community. If you are a researcher, you will be able to deal with all your challenges professionally. Classroom challenges lead to research and not to judgments and assumption. When you are a professional, you don't need to judge and assume why things are happening the way they are happening. But as a teacher, you can do your own research and find better solutions to your challenges. This module is a plan of how to research. It's not a research itself, so I'm not expecting to get portfolios where research has been conducted and there are results and stuff. This is just merely a plan because we are doing B.Ed. Assignment 3 is a talk home examination, which means you can do this assignment in the comfort of your home, and you may start preparing for this assignment now and submit it between 7 and 8 October. Examination timetable is already sent to all students with all relevant guidelines for online examination. So we are not going to be sitting in a venue. You will be sitting at your home and do this as this examination. This assignment cannot be written and submitted on the day of examination. However, if you do not have a laptop, you can write this assignment on your exam pad, scan it, and have a PDF document and then submit it. To prepare for this assignment, you need to read Tutorial Letter 101. Instructions about the module and parts of Assignment 3 are all available on that document. Please read your study guide. All the sections with information about research proposal is discussed in this document. It has detailed instructions of Assignment 3. Before you can start your assignment, read Tutorial Lesson 101 and the study guide. Don't browse the study guide, but read, because that is where you're gonna get information to understand how a research proposal is designed. Also, you need to read the reader. It will help you understand research better and academic language. Consult any article, book, thesis, dissertation, any piece of academic work you can use where a proposal is discussed, so that it can help you understand more better. As a teacher, you should always be inquisitive. Let's say you see a child who misbehaves in the class all the time. You need to ask yourself why this child is doing this. Don't conclude why, but ask yourself why. From there, it will lead you to get proper information, because inquisitive mind leads to critical thinking, which is mostly needed in the teaching profession. Critical thinking will lead to search for causes of certain behavior, be it in the classroom, school, or home, because you, as a teacher, will be facing all these environments in one day, maybe, or in all your teaching experience. The search for causes will lead to answers. If you do a research why things are happening, you will be able to get the answers. The reasons we do research is because we need answers to understand or solve problems. You can't leave your classroom problems unsolved because they'll grow or they will invite more problems, which can frustrate you and you end up with a burnout. Proposal is a plan of how research will be conducted. I repeat, proposal is a plan of how research will be conducted. It is not a research itself. These are the subtopics that you will find on your proposal. You need to have a title, which should have more than 14 words. You must have an introduction, which is half a page. The problem statement should be a maximum of 1 page. Literature review should be a maximum of 2 pages. Research participants, it should be half a page. Data collection, it should be a maximum of 1 page. Evaluation, it should be a maximum of 1 page. Summary, it should be half a page. And bibliography, it can be as much as your references are. There is no limit on that one. The title can be in a form of a question or a statement. It should be formal, meaningful, and concise. Remember that you were given a scenario, so you must construct a title based on the scenario that you were presented with. An introduction, it gives orientation to the program and discusses its meaningfulness. So when you do the introduction, you can also use other academic writers, books or articles to quote what is relevant to the topic that you are discussing. The problem statement, what is the problem that is identified that requires research to be conducted? It must be formulated in a question format. Literature review, in an investigation of an already completed research, what are other writers say about the topic that we are discussing? Theories are also scrutinized whilst investigating. You must check theories that are linked to this topic. 3 frameworks should be constructed. That is theoretical, which theory supports your research, the concepts that are related to the study, and then lastly, you need to discuss the conceptual frameworks. Research participants, how participants will be identified, who will be the participants, and how will the researcher communicate with them. This is very important because for some participants, you will need to get the ethical clearance to be able to talk to them or to get data from them. So it's important to know how you will get your participants and how possible to get the data that you want from them. Data collection. How will data be collected? What method are you going to use to collect? Are you going to be asking them questions? Are you going to be doing interviews, telephone interviews, or face-to-face interviews? Or are you going to be doing, you're going to be giving them questionnaires? You decide what you will need to do your data collection. Which techniques will be used to collect data, like where, how, and when? How will you access be gained for data collection? Maybe where you're going to be getting your data, you need to have access. How are you going to get that access to your data collection sites? Evaluation. How will the change behavior be observed? When you have done with your research, you do an evaluation of how things have changed after you have done your research, and maybe you went back and gave them the findings so that the behavior can change. So you need to observe how the change took place. Evaluation may lead to new research question if the desired action is not satisfactory. Your findings may not be implemented the way they should be, and that can raise questions maybe for more research or for new research or for new topic that is developing from the evaluation if the behavior is not changing the way it's supposed to change. Summary is a short discussion of the proposal. State your expectations. What do you expect from the whole process of your research? Yes, you are planning, but you must have expectations while we are still planning. When you do your reports at the end of the research, that is when you will see whether your expectations were met or not. But at this stage, you just mention what do you expect from this research. And then bibliography, you list all the references that you used to write your proposal. Use reference guide for correct referencing. The reference guide was sent to all students via the announcement. You can check your announcements for the reference guides so that you do the correct one. In conclusion, at this stage, you are learning basic research. If you follow these instructions, you will understand the need for educational research. Because if you look at the education in 2021, it's no longer the same as in 2020. It's no longer the same as in 2011. And it's no longer the same as in 1971. The reason why it's because of the educational research. The education changes based on the educational research results. So that is why it is important that while we are studying to become a teacher, you don't play away from the research skills, because that's going to help you throughout the journey of being a teacher. It will teach you to stop and address things in a professional manner, because if you assume or judge, you might you might not be able to solve problems. Instead, you will put petrol on fire, which is already there. So that is why we encourage B.Ed students to take this module very serious, because it's going to develop your teaching profession and it's going to help you develop the research skills. It's going to motivate you as well to study up until you get your PhD, because you know that it's not about money, it's not about positions, but it's all about making sure that you develop your profession so that you are happy at all times, knowing that when you meet challenges, you don't jump into conclusion or you don't act in such a way that at the end of the day, you will find yourself regretting. Research proposals, no two research proposals are similar. So I'm not expecting any similarities from different students, because I can give you one topic, even if it's a million people, there is no way they can write the same research proposal, because you are going to choose your own articles that you will be reading, your books. So it's totally different. Even how you're going to construct your title is going to be totally different. So I am not expecting any similarities between a research proposal from different students. So please just do your work on your own. You may discuss to understand the basics concept of research, but you cannot write together. Basically, during exam time, you really need to be on your own when you write, because if you don't do that, you're going to be disappointed when you get a zero. And on top of that, if you copy it from someone else, you can also face charges which can take away the opportunity of becoming a student anywhere in the country or maybe even outside the country. So please don't do that. We all know that cheaters can't be teachers, and teachers, they cannot be cheaters. Be creative and use your knowledge and understanding. By now, you should have read a lot of books and articles to understand research. So now it's time to make sure that you use that knowledge and understanding to compile your portfolio. Fortunately, you are doing it your own time. It's only a matter of submitting on the 7th or 8th. Work smart and be committed. When you work smart is when you try and use all the information that was presented to you and just follow the instructions. Definitely you will get your distinction from this module. You don't need to do much. It's just to follow the instructions as are, believing that we have read and understood the research proposal concepts, and then now it's time to put it into into paper, and then you get your distinction. I wish you all the best. Teachers can change the world. Finish your degree and be ready to serve the world, because the world cannot be where it is if it wasn't for teachers. So take your profession very serious and do what you are supposed to do. And in few years or in few months, depending on the level of study you are, you will be forming part of those game changers, which are called teachers. I thank you, and hopefully 100% of you will get to the next level. Thank you.